views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect the official views of Real TV, its management, or affiliates. Content is provided for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised.
To all of our local, regional and international viewers, thank you kindly for choosing us here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you. My dear friends, a very warm welcome to another edition of the program Conversations with Zalisa, where we continue to inform, educate, empower and answer those unanswered questions. I am Zalisa Budu Singh Rupani, humbly inviting you to sit back, relax, enjoy, get your pen, get your notebook, Real TV, so you can take notes on important numbers that will be helpful for you and your loved ones. Directing this morning and in Master Control, Mr. Robert Batiste, Head of Production and Senior Director. On behalf of the team, I'd like to wish each and every one of you a beautiful, blessed, productive and great day today. Happy Thursday, my friends. It's Thursday, the 23rd of July, 2026. Let me gently remind you, it is a day and time we'll never have the opportunity to ever have again in life. So don't procrastinate, don't waste your time, do something productive and constructive, all right? If you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you and yours. That's someone special. Don't take your loved ones for granted. The next moment is not promised. I do believe we've got condolences as we celebrate life and birth and happiness. It is important to also recognize the great contributions that are made by those who have gone to the great beyond, especially when it's in service. Robert, may I get the clip, please?
So this is a neighborhood filled with families of service members. Today, they join a Sergeant Angel Rampursad's family in mourning.
Our beloved Sergeant Angel Sarah Rampursad was a gentle giant. She was involved in her church at an early age, playing the drums and winning every track race among her peers.
Sergeant Angel Rampursad, a hometown hero.
She was faithful to her family and to her friends, and, you know, she was a loving daughter.
The 28-year-old Queens native and U.S. Army sergeant who comes from a military family is being remembered for her heroism, from Trinidad and Tobago, where her father is from, to this quiet Queens neighborhood where a sea of stars and stripes can be seen on nearly every doorstep.
She stood up for those who couldn't fight for themselves, a defender, a friend.
According to the Pentagon, the beloved soldier was one of 4 believed to be killed in action July 17th during an Iranian missile attack on her base in Jordan. She was initially listed as missing.
Just in shock as everyone else is.
Service members slowly carried her flag-draped casket during a dignified transfer Wednesday at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware, an honor for those who made the ultimate sacrifice.
This is a tragic loss for our country, our neighborhood, and especially for the family, as well as the other families that are involved in this incident.
The John Jay College graduate joined the Army in 2019. U.S. officials say she received numerous medals.
And of course, we send our condolences to family and friends near and far. And just a gentle reminder that Sergeant Angel Sarah Rampursad, who served the U.S., a United States service member, comes from Trinidad and Tobago heritage. So we all send our condolences to family and friends We know this is a difficult time. Thank you so much for that, Robert. Let's quickly go to our quote for today, please. Today is a new day. Even if you were wrong yesterday, you can get it right today. And this is so true. We have the control to make things right. We have the power within ourselves to change things by the choices and decisions we make today. So today is a brand new day, and if we were wrong yesterday, all right, let it be. Out with the old, in with the new. It's about a positive, new, aggressive attitude, and you can get it right today. All right, keep smiling, be positive, and always know the best is yet to come. Thank you, Robert. Can we kindly go to Fab India Expo?
Looking for something truly unique this season? Then you need to visit Fab India Expo, located opposite Medford Gas Station, Chaguanas. Brand new containers have just arrived, packed with one-of-a-kind garments you won't find anywhere else. Whether you're shopping for something stylish, traditional, or custom-made, we've got you covered with made-to-order pieces tailored just for you. And it doesn't stop there. Take a stroll through our full food court, offering delicious options for the entire family. From savory bites to sweet treats, there's something for everyone. Plus, don't miss our big sale on furniture. Upgrade your home with beautiful pieces at unbeatable prices. So come on down to the Fab India Expo, located opposite Medford Gas Station, Chaguanas, where culture, style, and savings come together.
To all of our local, our regional, and our international viewers, all those of you in Canada on the Caribbean Showtime Television, all those of you on Tego, the app, 3 million plus and growing, thank you so much for choosing us. Remember to like and share, because knowledge is power, great information, all right? Thank you so much for allowing us into your homes, into your hearts, or wherever you may be, so that we could add value, you could make better choices. Knowledge is power, yeah? Today I am in conversation with Leela Ram Singh. She is an entrepreneur, an executive leader, and a community activist, an advocate, always trying to help, always trying to put positivity into the sons and daughters of this land. And she is the CEO and founder of LSA Healthcare Services Limited, and so much more. She's a lady that wears many, many hats, and we can learn from such a dynamic lady. And today we're going to be talking about, yes, she's trained and certified and highly educated, but what she's going to be talking to us today is about real life. And that is, what is really real life? What an MBA did not teach her with regards to getting things done the right way. And education is important. It is a solid foundation that will take us through life. But there's so much more to life as well. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. When we get the opportunity to have conversations with dynamic ladies such as yourself, who would always outpour and give back and nurture and try to help people to evolve, it's important that we take away from your lessons so that we can apply, so we can all be better and serve better.
Yes, thank you.
Let's go down to where, let's go back to, in terms of your solid education background.
Okay, so let's start with my education. Of course, secondary school. When I left secondary school, I never stopped educating myself.
Right.
So I've always had this drive and passion for always upskilling. So I would have gone through the entire CXC, then you go to do CAPE, well, A-levels back then. Then you would have done, I did LCCI, ABE, and then I furthered my studies into my master's.
Nice.
So I never stopped learning, and to this date, I still continue to learn. So like recently I completed a course online for corporate governance.
Nice.
And this is for my NGO. So I've always had the belief that one cannot stop learning.
Yeah.
And anything that you want to learn, there is an opportunity, and it's so easy now because we have the internet.
Yes.
Yes. So there's no excuse not to learn something new daily. That is how I look
You're
at it.
absolutely correct. Life is about learning. It's about new experiences, not the old ones, but the new ones as well.
Correct.
And it's about applying those things to our lives to enhance. Yeah. When you talk about, you mentioned your NGO. Tell us a little bit about that.
My NGO was founded back in 2024. It's called Shared Dignity Foundation.
Yeah.
And this was born out of LSA Healthcare Services Limited. We are a commercial hygiene service provider. And while we were doing hygiene services to the schools, we have recognized there's a big gap and a need for items for periods.
Yeah.
So
And when you say that, we're now talking about the menstrual cycle.
yes, yeah, menstrual hygiene management. So our company is based into hygiene, and when we recognized there was a gap and a need, I've started going to the schools and doing education and speaking with the children of correct hygiene practices, not just the way how you dispose of a sanitary pad, but the entire 360. You shower, brush your teeth, wash your hands, what you do before you enter into the school, etc. So I've started partnering with a number of schools, and my first school actually, when I did this program, was at El Socorro South Government Primary many years ago, and I think there was about 7 or 8 girls in that class at the time.
Wow.
And I've started building out different secondary schools and primary schools, and also our community by going in and just educating them.
Brilliant. And the reason I say brilliant, it's because I wonder how many parents really sit in particular. Now I know you're supposed to sit and always have conversations about life with your children, but I really wonder how many parents, particularly mothers, because it's a sensitive thing, I think, right? It's personal, it's very sensitive, but how many mothers really sit down, do a little research, find out themselves, then sit with their young daughters and have a conversation about this new chapter in their life. A simple thing as how to sit, how to carry yourself, how to, simple things we often take for granted that is extremely important. So with your intervention into the primary schools, I think that's excellent.
Thank you.
Because that education is important. You're absolutely correct. It's not just about disposal. It's about wearing. It's about sensitivity. It's about so much more that goes with it, that you really need to sit and have a serious conversation, questions and answers, and allow your daughters to ask questions because they're going to be curious. And rather than hear it from the wrong people or wrong influences, you can sit and consult. With your years of experience and being in this industry firsthand, what do you think is the most appropriate age that you should sit and have this conversation with your daughters? Maybe your sons as well, so that if their sisters are menstruating or they're at school and this should happen, they're not allowed, oh God, and make a big scene out of it, but rather deal with it in a very sensitive way.
Actually, from working on the field with some of the schools, we have now seen some girls at the age of 7 and 8 who are starting menstrual cycles. Yes, it's very young.
That is very young.
So I think from that age it's important that they start the conversation to bring it, to normalize it. One of the things that, one of the organizations that we work with is called Wash United out of Germany. So we are the official partner for menstrual hygiene in Trinidad and Tobago.
Nice.
And with that, we run our seminars, we run our workshops, etc., based on that. And we've been seeing a number of girls, they're still shocked about when their period come because they don't know what is happening.
They're alarmed. They have no knowledge.
Yeah.
So it's a very scary experience if you have no knowledge at all. I want to go back to the 7 and 8 year old when we return. We're going to go to a very quick break.
Sure.
And when we return, young girls and kiddies or children, they are on holidays. So I trust and hope that they could sit and listen, watch this program, parents or grandparents or guardians out there, if you're home with the children. I think this is going to be a very good show today for them to, sit and listen And if they've got any questions, they could send me a WhatsApp message and I'll be more than happy to read it to Ms. Ramsing, and I'm sure she will elaborate and give you the answers that you're seeking. All right? Thank you so much for choosing us. Let's go to these important messages. When we return, we continue our conversation. Kiddies, it's all about you today.
You need some cash. You need it now. Without the stress, we'll tell you how.
At JNMB Express Finance, there are no fees on unsecured loans from $2,500 to $75,000. That's a fact. None, not one. No fees, no fuss, no cash. Approval in 24 hours, and the funds go direct to your account. Come in or call Jeff today.
Call 2244-JEF.
Behind every mistake, there's a person. And behind every struggle, there's a story waiting to be told. This is Redemption, a road to rehabilitation and recovery, where honesty meets hope and change begins. I am Prem Badri. I was a part of the problem, and now I want to be part of the solution. So join me on Real TV every Thursday at 6 p.m. See you there.
In a world full of noise, choose clarity. The Real News digital publication is your choice for important news coverage. From influential figures shaping our nation to a powerful week in review that keeps you informed. The weekly edition is available for download on all of our social media platforms. Smart, sharp, essential. Real News digital publication. Stay informed, stay educated, stay empowered.
National Lotus Theatre and Sita Prasad proudly present Pavana, Winds of Change. A spectacular theatrical experience filled with suspense, drama, comedy and romance, bringing the very best of Indo theatre in Trinidad to the stage. Journey through a powerful modern-day story inspired by ancient teachings with electrifying performances by Sabita Sukhdeo and group, Nishana Dance Academy, Abigail Mansing, Gregory Paul and the talented, versatile Timothy Ramprasad. One night only, Saturday 25th July 2026 at 6:30 p.m. at the fully air-conditioned Diwali Nagar Auditorium. Get your tickets now at Prem Singh's Chagwanas and Q Rep. For more information, call Sita Prasad at 252-5773. Pavana, Winds of Change, where emotions rise, secrets unfold, and destiny takes center stage.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zalisa right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you, to all of our local, regional, international viewers. Thank you so much for choosing us. Today we are talking about our young ladies, our daughters, the importance of educating them about survival for life, things that happen during the course of different changes that they experience as they get older. And one of the things that sometimes we tend to put in the back burner under the carpet, or we're shy to talk about, is a menstrual cycle, a period. And I think it is extremely important for our daughters to understand their bodies, because if they don't understand their bodies, or they don't understand, or they're ready for the changes, then it could be very, very traumatic. It could be very alarming in certain situations, because at any point in time, any day, any time, it can happen. So you really need to look at the signs, be prepared, have a good relationship with your doctor. Maybe if you feel you can't talk to your daughters for some reason, you feel shy about it, or you're intimidated about speaking about life, which is reality, you've experienced it as a mother as well, then perhaps you can get some intervention and ask your doctor to sit and have a conversation about the body. Welcome back. In conversation with Leela Ramsing, entrepreneur. She is an executive leader and a community advocate and the founder, CEO and founder of LSA Healthcare Services Limited. And so today she's sharing her wealth of knowledge and experiences with us. When I ask with regards to what age we should have that conversation, 7 or 8, you just didn't say that from the top of your head. You said it because of experience.
Correct.
And because of all of the interaction in the different avenues that you choose to educate and empower our young ladies. And 7 or 8 is still really very young, very innocent.
It is.
But I'll tell you how my daughter found out about it. My niece, her cousin Victoria, gave her a book about young ladies and how they should behave and different things about it. So she started reading the book. And there she saw this thing with the menstrual cycle and period. Mommy, what is this about? And so, I mean, I wasn't prepared at the time, and I said, well, we'll talk about it. I myself had to gather my thoughts because you want to say what is right. You want to ensure that you impart the right information so that at their age they can absorb, you know. And so that's when I had to sit and explain to her, well, this is what happens in life and it happens to every lady. And, you know, you shouldn't be ashamed of it. It's part of life and the process of growing up and becoming a lady. So you really have to have, and also you need to say, do you have any questions? Is there anything you don't understand you want me to explain to you? Or maybe we could, and I went on and I got something and we looked at a video together where we both, I felt it was easier for me to do that. And so she got the right information, not you know, second hand but first hand.
What I would like to add to that, which is great what you did for her, advocate for mothers, sisters, aunties, even dads as well, to become part of the conversation in terms of educating your young girls and also your boys, so nobody's left behind in terms of the way the world is changing. You know, so it's important. Also, what I would like to add in is that prepare them for the changes of puberty in terms of what is going to happen. The development of your body is going to change, and also too, with the development of your body, they're going to get different odors, so you have to prepare them for all of that. What we do is when we do the talks, we give them little menstrual kits. We do a video, we talk to them, and we also give them something called a dignity pouch. And the dignity pouch is that we explain to them what you put inside there. You can put in an extra underwear, a sanitary pad, a toothbrush, a toothpaste, hand sanitizer, toilet paper. You're preparing yourself in the event that your menstrual cycle comes, you're prepared for it. And that is where you eliminate the word called period poverty, because you're prepared. Education. You educate your child. That's a power, the gateway to the world, and understanding, dealing with things in a different way, in a more mature way, because you already understand and expecting what this should happen. What are some of the signs that as parents we should observe or we should pick up on, because we know our kids best? So some of the signs that we see and perhaps we are aware, all right, this is going to happen soon. I think
it started, you know.
For girls, definitely development of their breasts. You should see the chest starting to grow a bit. Sometimes it's starting to get hair under the armpits. Sometimes it's starting to get pimples. Some people, hips start to develop already. So you see kids looking different at a young age. So that's also signs of development for puberty.
Okay. So parents, please be aware of that, you know. Pay attention to the development of little boobies, you know, as you explain under the arms, things like that. Once you start to see those signs, it's an indication, hey, you need to step in and say, well, you know, now you're getting older and you're developing, and, you know, different things that will happen to your body. Don't be alarmed, but understand it's the process as you get older. But it doesn't mean that you're still not a child.
Exactly.
You know, because then they start, you know, wearing little training bras and things like that very early, especially under the uniform.
Correct.
You know, it is important that we pay attention to those things as well as parents.
And short pants as well underneath skirts.
Exactly. So much so that sometimes they wear it even when they're going to bed under their little nightie. They get so accustomed with the shorts. But these are things that it is our duty, our responsibilities as parents. But we are just fortunate that we have good people such as yourself that would go into the schools and do that sort of lecturing or communicating with our sons and daughters. You are absolutely correct when you spoke about it's just not daughters but our sons as well. We should educate our sons, because whether or not they have sisters at home, they're going to go into the world where they're probably in school sitting next to a girl, or they're going to interact, and they should be aware. They should also have a level of respect, because some little boys like to tease and they like to make a big thing out of. So we educate your children about being sensitive and about saying the appropriate things at the appropriate times.
Correct, yeah. Actually, I did a session on SEAD at the Aranguez TIA Muslim School, and we had both boys and girls.
Very nice.
And it was wonderful. And we did a role play. If you see a girl's skirt is soiled, what are you going to do? And the young man came up and he went close to her and he whispered and he said, "Your skirt is soiled." And that was so nice. I think he was about 10 or so.
Yes.
And it's like bringing boys and girls into the conversation. It's not about just girls. It's not, because they have sisters, they have mummies.
Yeah, of course, aunties,
cousins,
friends, you're absolutely correct. And then they've got their peers in school.
Correct.
And you don't want, that's an embarrassing situation, not just for the girl, but I guess for, having to be exposed like that. And then on top of that, being called names or branded,
Correct,
you don't want to. So prevention is better than cure. And that is why it's important we have healthy conversations with our children. That is why it's important we sit. And sometimes we may get annoyed by the million questions that they ask. But if they're not seeking an answer, they wouldn't ask.
Correct.
Ask and you shall receive. I say this to my daughter all the time. Like, if you're not sure about something, ask mommy, please. Or don't hesitate to ask me.
Correct.
And I will explain. And I think that is important for parents. And we can't be too busy or too consumed when our children ask questions, because they're inquisitive. They want to know. They're exploring the world and all these different things. So it's important that they get the right information as well.
That's right.
Because sometimes they're misled.
Correct.
And we don't want that to happen. So you indicated a good conversation, a healthy conversation about changes at 7 to 8. I think if they're already exposed to this and they could Google anything or they could watch anything on YouTube, then I think you're absolutely right. It's not too early to sit and have constructive conversations about the body and about changes, about who is allowed, who is not allowed, about touching. Well, I think touching should be long before 7 or 8. That is a conversation that you should have with your children at a very young age. From the moment, they could understand and you could communicate. That's a no-no.
Exactly. That is important as well, because some of the children go into co-ed schools and based on their upbringings, they may be touchy. Some children are not like that. So some of the, I would say, based on Shared Dignity Foundation, I would have the opportunity to work with at-risk children as well through another foundation called Chosen Hands. And some of the girls or the boys as well would have been having, how should I say it, being touched, etc. So it affects children in a negative way. And you don't want, as you said, having open dialogue with your child at a very young age. As you said, come to me if you need any answers, because a parent wouldn't mislead their child.
Of course.
So having that open conversation about anything. Don't be afraid of your mommy or daddy to tell you the correct thing rather than somebody else. And parents should trust their child should be able to trust a parent as well.
Absolutely.
So it all starts in the home, because at the home is where you're the first leader.
Yes.
You see, you follow.
Absolutely correct. You are your child's first teacher, guru. There's an old saying, the apple will not fall far from the tree. That is the truth. What we teach our children, that is what they're going to learn. We lead by example.
Correct.
So if you smoke in front of your children, if you drink in front of your children, if you use profanity in front of your children, if you're abusive, that is what you're opening and developing your child to become and to think it's okay or it's the norm. When I say it and I'll say it again, somebody call on the phone, tell them I'm not home. That's the first lie. Answer the phone. If you don't want to speak, don't answer the phone. But if they answer the phone, mommy or daddy is busy at this time, they'll call you later. It's simple. Let them be truthful. These are the choices that we make. Somebody was talking to me recently about this person comes selling plants. And it was cheap, it's like $10 for a plant, so they tell them, yeah, buy it and buy. And I said to that person very openly, very bluntly, but you are encouraging people to steal. You are encouraging that thief who stole the plants from whoever by buying from them and saying, bring more. You are encouraging the thief to be a bigger thief. And it starts in simple things like that our children see. And we don't realize, I don't think we really realize the important role we play in the lives of our children by what we say, how we eat, the choices we make, but what we choose to buy. So many things that we influence our children that we need to be mindful.
And one of the things I like to add is that inculcating and changing our society starts with the children. So that is where hygiene for me, I'm passionate about it, and it starts with the children. And if I could change children's lives, we are going to have a better society for the future, and that is what we look at.
We are going to have better leaders. When I say better leaders, I'm talking about better parents. I'm talking about better co-workers. I'm talking about better people that we see in society that we have to communicate with. And the fact is, if we inculcate the right morals and values now, give them that solid foundation, we have nothing to worry about, because we know that that is solid. So wherever they go, they make us proud, they make themselves proud. But we are responsible for that.
Definitely.
This is a program, Conversations with Zalisa, in conversation with Leela Ramsingh. Let's go to these important messages. When we return, we continue our conversation about having the right, proper conversations with our children. Let's go to these messages. Stay with us.
Looking for all your back-to-school essentials? Well, come on down to Keith Muhammad Books and School Supplies, where we have a wide variety of stationery and stencil supplies. We have wide ranges of textbooks on math, science, and even literature. We also are the sole distributors of the Malaysian publisher Mind to Mind, and have bestsellers Sudoku and Word Search. Visit us at our opening hours and feel our warm hospitality. We are located at number 5 Railway Road, San Juan, and WhatsApp us at 777-7341 for more info.
I am Walter Stewart, President of the Trinidad and Tobago National Council of Parent-Teacher Associations Incorporated. Join us every Thursday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Real TV, where we look at NPTA Speaks, National Parent-Teacher Association Speaks, on topical and relevant issues pertaining to parents, teachers, education, and students of Trinidad and Tobago. This, of course, encapsulates local, regional, and international audiences every Thursday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Real TV, NPTA Speaks.
Let's get straight to the point. I am Dale Edwards, Dale the Voice, and we're going to get straight to the point right here on Real TV. Join me Monday to Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. when we talk the hard truth. We're not beating around the bush. We're getting straight to the point, dealing with real issues, social, politics, and much more. Monday to Friday, the only place to be is right here on Real TV.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zalisa right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you, to all of our local, regional, international viewers. All those of you 3 million plus viewers, thank you so much for choosing us. Please like and share because it's great information. Knowledge is power. Today I'm in conversation with Ms. Leela Ramsingh. She is an entrepreneur, an executive leader, community advocate. She wears many hats. And of course, she is the CEO and founder of LSA Healthcare Services Limited. And today she's talking to us about teaching our children about proper hygiene, the importance of proper hygiene. Welcome back. You know, and that is why it is important. Water is so important. People, when I hear people call and say they don't have water for a couple of days and a week and a month, you have to consider all of these things: a proper bath, proper hygiene, toilets that are flushing, different things that you need to. And so that is what you do as well, firsthand, by educating, going into schools and different arenas where you can address such situations. Tell us about exactly some of the work that you do.
So let's go to the schools. So some of the schools where we encountered, we started off with just the period, poverty, education, menstrual hygiene management, and then we recognized there was a need when the teachers will tell us some children have offensive odors. And when they investigated, the children didn't have basic things like deodorant, a body spray, or not even toothpaste or toothbrushes to come to school, you know. So that is causing children to stay away from school. They're being bullied if they don't have the basics. So what we did, we pulled together and we did a couple gift bags. I called upon people that we know and say, hey, we're doing a donation drive. Could you all support this initiative? And we got a lot of people sponsored products, and we redistributed it to schools in different communities.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so I mean, children are losing education for the basic needs. I mean, things like you didn't have a shower. How do you feel uncomfortable because you don't have it at home, and you lose the school, your education? And I don't think children should be losing education at this time and age. I mean, because of basic things like that.
Of course, not being able to have water because you can't take a bath or a simple thing. You're correct. You can't brush your teeth. You know, a proper hygiene.
Don't have it. They don't even have toothbrushes. They don't even have a deodorant. And the teachers, they do try. When they give me their stories, they try. So we as a corporate Trinidad and Tobago have to help. There's no other way but try to help children to get an education. And you know, as our former late Prime Minister would have said, the children are the future of our nation.
Oh, they are.
Yeah,
they
so
are.
we have to make that call on different organizations to help. Let's do it. I alone can't do it. My company alone can't do it. My foundation alone. It needs a holistic 360 to help children to get your education.
Correct.
That's the way out of poverty.
Yeah, that's the their gateway to the world. That's their future.
Correct.
And it's important that we understand that. I mean, one of the things that I know you stated is that yes, you have your MBA and you did what you did, but the reality of simple things in life, common things that we often take for granted that we don't have, that is sad.
It is.
You could have all the education in the world, but you don't know how to say good morning or good afternoon or thank you, or you're courteous to the elderly. A simple thing is, you know, you see the elderly there and you're sitting, get up. You're supposed to know, it should be an instinct immediately. Uncle, auntie, have a seat.
Yes.
You know, simple things like that that we don't do anymore.
Those things are lacking because the social, and I think with the pandemic, it happened where people started to retract to themselves and their devices. So you found that there's a generation now, a percentage, they don't know how to interact, but they can interact great on the mobiles. And when you meet them in person, they're totally introverted. But on the device, They can do great videos and
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I've encountered a few.
And
like
that's
that.
sad because then you lose the essence of communication. You lose
Correct.
the essence of smiles. You lose, long ago when we had family gatherings, everybody together and having a good time and laughing and talking and cooking and eating and interacting. Even the younger ones would get into Monopoly or Scrabble, or they're playing some sort of game, or they're playing cricket or football. That's not happening anymore. You have family gatherings and everybody's head is in, they're losing the essence of the moment of
Correct.
being together because everybody head down on the phone. So they don't even know how to communicate. They don't even know how to laugh anymore. And I think that is sad when you look around and see those things happening. The values of life really are very
the
thin.
essence of life
They're
you
not
miss,
as
yeah.
that you miss in the moment. The happiness that you should share. It's no longer there.
Actually, deviating a bit, I went to a carnival fete this year and they told us to put away our phones. Enjoy,
Nice.
Marshall was saying, enjoy the moment.
Yes,
Stop
he's
videoing.
correct.
Stop videoing, just enjoy it. And he had people to put away the phones. Yeah.
I have a habit as well. If I am spending time with my daughter, my phone is down, or I deliberately not have it with me. You understand? Because that is my time with her, and I
Yes.
feel, and that is something I also, in terms of devices, I also say, okay, I'm allowing you to use this at this time, but that's it. You have an hour and that's it. You utilize that hour, but after that you get a book or you color, you do art. So do something, that would, you could be, not just your head drown.
Yes.
That could build you as a person. And I think that's important. I think a lot of the fighting, even with siblings, it's because of these games. And it starts in their home. They beat up the younger ones. It's because they fight in, and that's in there. So we need to take control. We need to take charge. And more so now that children are on holidays. You have parents working. They're still juggling 2 or 3 jobs. Some kids, unfortunately, are left alone at home. That's a fact. It's wrong, but it happens. Some people leave their children with their teenagers, the older ones, drop them by the neighbor, the family, the friends, and not knowing what is really happening. And I think that is sad.
It is, yes.
We are losing. I think you need to prioritize. I know we have to pay our bills. I understand that more than anybody else. You have to pay your bills. You're committed to certain things, but you also have, when you're a parent, a duty and responsibility towards your children to ensure that they are safe, they're in the right environment with the right influences.
That's right.
Because you don't know. You do have unguarded moments. And I think that parent hat, whether you're working or not, should always be on. You should always be alert and know what your children are doing, where your children are. I've asked this question time after time. Right now, do you know where your children are at? Do you know whom they're with? These things are important. Prevention is better than cure. With that, let's go to these important messages. When we return, we continue our conversation. It's about children. It's about our children, the youth today, the flowers of our nation who are going to go on to be our leaders. If we don't guide them and if we don't inculcate the right morals and values, or we ourselves are not examples, what do you think will happen to our children in the future? Something for us all to think about. Just look at social media and see how they behave, how they fight, how they carry on, the profanity, there's a lot of rage and anger when you look at these videos. Why are these children? What are they venting? Something for us all to think about. Let's go to these messages.
You need some cash. You need it now. Without the stress, we'll tell you how.
At JNMB Express Finance, there are no fees on unsecured loans from $2,500 to $75,000. That's a fact. None, not one. No fees, no fuss, no cash. Approval in 24 hours, and the funds go direct to your account. Come in or call Jeff today.
Call 2244-JEF.
Looking for all your back-to-school essentials? Well, come on down to Keith Muhammad Books and School Supplies, where we have a wide variety of stationery and stencil supplies. We have wide ranges of textbooks on math, science, and even literature. We also are the sole distributors of the Malaysian publisher Mind to Mind and have bestsellers Sudoku and Word Search. Visit us at our opening hours and feel our warm hospitality. We are located at number 5 Railway Road, San Juan, and WhatsApp us at 777-7341 for more info.
Join us on Real TV for Highlights with Alan Ferguson, a program where we aim to level the playing field through meaningful conversation and real action. We highlight the positive developments happening within communities across Trinidad and Tobago, while also addressing the concerns and challenges affecting government agencies and everyday citizens. Tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m., only on Real TV.
National Lotus Theatre and Sita Persad proudly present Pavana, Winds of Change, a spectacular theatrical experience filled with suspense, drama, comedy and romance, bringing the very best of Indo theatre in Trinidad to the stage. Journey through a powerful modern-day story inspired by ancient teachings with electrifying performances by Sabita Sukhdeo and group, Nishana Dance Academy, Abigail Mansing, Gregory Paul, and the talented, versatile Timothy Ramprasad. One night only, Saturday 25th July 2026 at 6:30 p.m. at the fully air-conditioned Diwali Nagar Auditorium. Get your tickets now at Prem Singh's Chagwanas and Q Rep. For more information, call Sita Persad at 252-5773. Pavana, Winds of Change, where emotions rise, secrets unfold, and destiny takes center stage.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zalisa right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you. I thank you kindly for choosing us because we continue to inform, educate and empower. We continue to bring dynamic people who are really leaders in our communities that could teach us, that could help us to make better choices, better decisions, put us in the direction, into the path where we can grow. We can be better parents ourselves, we can be better leaders, we can be better co-workers, be sensitive to things, understanding and respectful, most importantly. In conversation with Leela Ram Singh. Now she is an entrepreneur, she's an executive leader, a community advocate. She's also the CEO and founder of LSA Healthcare Services Limited. She's a mother, she's a wife, she's a daughter. And she is such a successful lady, very humble, but very successful in many, many ways, and here to share her wealth of knowledge with us. Welcome back. Let's talk a little bit about, so you do your NGO, and you go out there and you help, you make a difference. When I say you wear many hats, so you still, you're full-time in your business.
Yes.
And I met you via a graduation.
Yes.
We both were, I was a featured speaker, guest speaker, and she was also one of the speakers. We met, and that's where our conversation started. And I felt you were so valuable in what you shared. I felt, my God, I need to have you on Conversations because these are things that we need to be real about. These are things that we need to understand. Some people take it for granted, but you can't take it for granted. What you put in is what you're going to get out. What you invest, when I say invest, I'm not just talking now about a good home and a safe environment and good healthy food and love and care and educating, but nurturing in terms of even how you teach your children how to speak, how to be thankful, how to be compassionate, how to be understanding. And these are things that we are responsible for teaching our children, not the schools or not society, that some people depend and think, well, the school, that's part of what you need to do as a parent.
Exactly.
And that's what you go out there and do every day. You certainly manage that well.
Not every day, but a few days of the week, and sometimes on weekends as well. Once people ask me to come, I put it in my schedule and I said, yes, I'm going to do it. I also have an amazing team at my office who support me, because without them, I wouldn't been able to do to spread throughout Trinidad, you know.
You're absolutely correct. If you don't have a strong team, and you
Correct.
don't have the people that can be responsible for certain things, then your business will go
Exactly,
to pieces. So that is good that you've recognized that.
Yes.
I also understand that your team is extremely
Of
important.
course,
they are the
yeah.
wind beneath your wings.
Correct.
You know, and that
I
is
mentor
important.
all of them.
Very nice.
And once they join my organization and I see there is room for growth, I kind of mold them, you know. And yes, people would leave because they have different aspirations.
Correct.
But the ones who are with me, I try to mold them and say, hey, this is what we can do. So change, make the environment a change one for them to grow. It's not just they come in to work with us and they're stagnant. No. So I work with my team as well. I have an amazing team of women, mostly women, a few guys, and I'm very passionate about what I do, and they understand what I am about, and they come into like realization, okay, this is what she's about, and they support, and they love the initiatives that we also do.
That is extremely important, that you all have the same vision and goal and you're not here, there and everywhere. And that's when you taste success.
Yes.
When your team comes together, they work cohesively and you have a goal and you work towards that.
Yes.
And not here, there and everywhere and scattered. I mean, there are days that you'll have low days, but
Of course.
but then it all matters for the positive energy that you put in. That's what you'll certainly reap. And I think that's across the board, even from home.
Yes.
What you invest, and that's what I was saying earlier on, what you invest, meaning your time, your energy, your effort to inculcate into the lives of your children, that's what you're going to reap. That's what you get. It's like a fruit. If you don't nurture that fruit
Of course.
and pull out the weeds and fertilize it and water it and take care of it, you're not going to get a good fruit.
Yeah.
You know?
So I feel even though I have one biological child, I have a group of my team members. I mean, they are my other children as well.
Yeah, very nice.
You know, yeah, but so growing them is important. And I told them the other day when I was having my meeting, I said, hey, you know, I know not everybody's going to stay on here for forever.
Right.
You have to gain your wings, and whenever you go into another organization, it's like you've already trained. You go with value.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how
You're absolutely correct, and I think that's how you taste success. And I say the same. You know, stay, grow with me, but if you choose to leave, I bless you.
Yes.
And that's a personal choice, and I
Correct.
respect that as well.
Yes.
You know, and it's all part of life. It's
the
all
growth,
part of
the
every
growth stages. Yes.
You're absolutely
It's
correct.
growing.
It's the growth. It's
Yeah.
growing and allowing others to grow and blossom as well.
Yeah. And I love that, because it's like when you plant a seed and you see that start to blossom, and it's like people flourish. When people flourish under you, you also have been blessed for what you are doing for others. It's like planting seeds, you mold them, you grow them, and I'm always happy. So I'll give you an example. I had this young man who was working with me, and he migrated, and I'm so proud of him. He is in one of these huge organizations out there in the USA, managing over 40,000 restaurants in automation, and he even invited me to his wedding, and I was
how beautiful.
It was really beautiful to know that, yes, he came in as an employee, and then when we part ways, we continue keeping that relationship. Be like, hey, Ms. Ramsing, so and so and so. This is what. So now it's no more Ms. Ramsing, it's Leela. So it's a great, no problem. We have reached that stage, and I love to see that people, when they start somewhere, it's not you're not going to stay right there. You must always have a vision and an end goal. This is where you're here now, but you have a future, and people have to see that.
But you have to put in the work.
Of course.
If
yeah,
you don't put
yeah.
in the work or you don't put in, you're not going to get anything positive out
No,
of it.
no.
So you're absolutely correct. And it's also about focus. And that's what I say to my employees as well, right, Robert? I always say, the day you all say, Ms. Z, come and look down there, that car I bought, or I'm buying a home, I want to go on a holiday, it makes me feel that you did something positive at this company.
Yes, yeah.
And you made a difference, an impact in somebody's
And
life.
I'm always proud for my
Of
team
course,
members when
yeah.
they elevate as well.
Very
Yeah.
true. Before we wrap things up, your closing comments, your advice, look into that camera and you can go right ahead and share all of your wealth of knowledge and advice to our viewers near and far.
Well, firstly, thank you for viewing this morning. I'm Leela Ramsingh, and I just want to say that what we pour into others is what we're going to get out, but you also have to pour into yourself in terms of gratitude, in terms of your integrity, in terms of servant leadership. You must pour from your heart, and then you get to others, and that's how I sow my seeds. I'm always helping others. I try to live a grateful life, always being full of gratitude, being blessed with what I have to give to others, and I see that blessing coming back to me and everybody around me, you know. So that is how I look at life in essence. Appreciate, cherish the moments. As Elisa said this morning, we don't know for the next hour what is going to happen to us. So always be grateful for what we have now, and sow the seeds of blessings and input values into each other. Teach others as you go along in this life. Don't be the gatekeeper. Be the person who always willing to share knowledge. You may not have the finance, but you may have a listening ear to help someone. Don't be judgmental as well, because sometimes we see people and we just decide to judge them. Don't be like that. Open your ears to listen. Invite them for a moment, and people do appreciate it. I now finish a leadership series on my LinkedIn profile, and I have wonderful people who would have written to me and tell me thanks for sharing. And I shared genuine. It wasn't about anybody else, about my journey of being from a childhood into adulthood, what I would have gone through. And it was amazing to see the responses, the comments. People were really appreciative of being authentic. So being an authentic leader in any sphere is important. Who you are, show up. So thank you.
So true. I want to thank you for taking time off of your busy schedule to spend some time, impart some of your knowledge with us, so we could be better leaders, better parents, and make better decisions for our children, especially with our children. All of God's choices, blessings, as you continue to grow from strength to strength, as you continue to pour into the communities. We're very fortunate to have good angels like yourself on earth who just don't think about yourself but always for the benefit of others as they grow. And so I'm trusting we'll have other conversations as well.
Thank you.
All the very best. Thanks again for coming, and you take care.
Thank you very much.
This is where we're going to wrap things up for today, reminding you about your duty and responsibility. First, to God, to be grateful to God. For yourself, as she said, it's very true. You also have to pour into yourself in order to have the strength to help others and to pour into others as well. Be kind, be courteous, be good law-abiding citizens. Do what is right at all times. And here's reminding you that with God and only God, all things are possible. I am Zalisa Budu Singh Rupani. Thank you so much for choosing us. Stick and stay. Great programming continues right here on Real TV.